My name is Winslow Charles. I am a customer representative for NetTrends LLC. I sell, not I sell the agency sell insurance, and we sell auto, home, life, all type of insurance, and part time as I do photography. I haven't started a process of making a full time business yet, but it's for right now is more of a hobby, and since I can make a little bit of money from it, I'll do that also.
Diversified is where you learn, started, sustained, and succeeded so you can too. Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're also going to talk about in case stuff happens. That's insurance. I have Sir Charles. Yeah, he was knighted by the Haitian delegation. I'm going to throw that out there. It may come to be about, but I recently did a photo shoot with Prince Miles, and that's his real name, y'all. So don't just think I'm giving titles like that, right? That's what his mama named him. But Sir Charles is his mentor, and he was there helping him out, helping him find his love for photography. I love talking to entrepreneurs. I love talking to good people, and he surely is a humble spirit. So we're going to get in the game, get up all in his business. Sir Charles of the Haitian delegation. I'm throwing it out there. How are you doing, my bro?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
Hey, all is blessed over here by the best. And, where do you want to start? Because I'm ready to talk about insurance, or we can go right into the photography or how you blend the two in your life. I just want to inspire someone to show them that even if you do have a career like insurance that all of us need, you still might have passions that you turn into a business. So where you want to start?
Um, we can start with the insurance one because that's probably the one that a lot more people have questions about. Because that's something that eventually everybody's gonna need in case you plan on walking and not living in a house for the rest of your life. At some point, you're gonna need to get yourself some insurance. So we can start from that, then we can go with the more fun stuff, in my opinion, with the photography and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, how long have you been doing insurance? What type of insurance do you do? And let them know, your credentials, because as you know, there's a lot of frauds. They go on podcasts like Burn Your Leisure, and they have all the advice for you, but they never talk retirement. They never talk health. They never talk anything except how to buy some Turo cars or put them on, or some Airbnb. So, let's,
Yeah.
tell us why insurance and why we need it.
All right. So I've been working in an insurance agency for the past 7 years. So since I was 18. So what about insurance? Right now, insurance in Florida, from what I've been seeing lately, has been really hard because a lot of customers don't know what to get in insurance. They just go to the insurance company and say either give me the cheapest one or they explain to me their problems, and I might and I go ahead and try to tailor something to their needs in a sense. Um, I so let's start with Florida insurance. Around, let's start with auto insurance because I think that's what most people need. That's what most people have at this moment. With auto insurance, there's all types. That's basic or full coverage. It depends what you need. Basic is in the state of Florida. All you need is PIP and PD, just personal injury protection, property damage. All that is pretty much you're able to drive, and if you hit somebody's car, they'll fix it, but your car is not covered. And let's say you need to go to the hospital, they cover that. Besides that, that's what basic insurance is, and you'll realize that a lot of people in Florida don't really understand what it is. That's why when let's say they have basic insurance, and let's say they have car troubles, they think they might have towing or doing rent a car. Let's say their car is full is crashed and they can't drive it. They might think, oh, I have insurance, so I gotta have rental. In their head, they just think if I have insurance, I have all these other coverages, but that's absolutely not the case in a sense. And a lot of times they said I want full coverage, and that's very how can I say it? Full coverage is the name of the title, but it's not. They might think then that means they're covered for everything when that's not really the case. A lot of times they say full coverage because they just purchased a car from a dealership and they're financing it. So the dealership said you need full coverage on the car, and in their mind they might think, okay, I have full coverage on my insurance. But real talk, all it means is that you cover your vehicle now. So let's say you hit it against a pole or you hit it against somebody else, that vehicle is covered, depending on the deductible on your insurance. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have let's say rental, towing, all the other extra stuff that some of you guys might need it. Uninsured motorists, because a lot of people in Florida sometimes do not have insurance while they're driving, and if they do, God forbid, if they do get in a car insurance, their car and your car is not covered because they're driving no insurance. So one thing I always recommend is if you do need insurance, and before you just say let me have basis of full coverage, ask your insurance agent to explain to you each coverage, and you guys can work out a price. Because when you go to an agency instead of calling the company directly, what it is you have a middleman. It's like having a lawyer. You speak the lingo, and the agency understands exactly what you need. If you catch my drift, it's like, okay, now I need some auto insurance. Can you explain me each of these coverages, and can you explain me which ones you think I might need and which ones you think I don't necessarily need? If you understand, like a lot of people might say, I have full coverage, I have the whole thing, and you look at their insurance, it is full coverage, but they have a bunch of stuff that they will never use, or their coverages are just extremely high, like, that they don't need because all they do is drive cars. Some other people might need those coverages because they have more liabilities, such as they might be a business owner, or when they drive, they have some stuff in the back that needs to be covered also while they're in the car. Some people they realize they're paying all this price when they don't really necessarily need that. But that's mostly because of a
let
lack
me
of.
pause real quick. Teachable moment. What is one thing you see that most people don't need and they're paying for it every day?
Oh yes. Um. Oh, this is a nice one. Uninsured motorists is. I'm not saying they don't need it, but I think they don't understand what it is for, and they hear uninsured motorists and they think it's for their vehicle. That means it's if somebody hit their car is covered, even if the person doesn't have insurance. But it really means if you need to go to the hospital. Your uninsured motorists have nothing to do with your vehicle. A lot of people might not notice. So they have uninsured motorists. They said, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm driving around. If somebody hit my car and don't have insurance, my uninsured motorist is going to cover that." Your uninsured motorist is if you need to go to the hospital, and that's it. One other thing people might not understand. Oh, one coverage I could see a lot of people do not have that they really might need, that I would probably recommend, is probably bodily injury. It's a lot of people might not have that because Florida don't require to have it, but I can say, in my opinion, it's one of the most important coverages to have because a lot of times when somebody hit you, especially in Florida, like you said, there's a lot of fraud going on. They could hate you and try to sue you, and without that, all that liability fall on you. When on your insurance, there's a coverage that will help you cover that, or help you pay whatever that help you cover you for that not to happen. Sadly, I've seen a couple clients that they did not have bodily injury. They had the regular, basic or PD, or they're driving, they hit somebody, boom, person needs to go to the hospital. Their insurance don't cover the whole thing. Now they're gonna look at you and say, "Hey, you hit me. You gotta pay my hospital bills." Now that's 15,000 that you don't have, that you could have probably not have to pay if you had that coverage. Even though it's a little bit more a month, but it's definitely not $15,000 more. If you understand what I mean. So that's one coverage that I think that a lot of people do not have. That I think, in my opinion, is pretty important.
Okay, okay. And I say that because late last year I was hit with my sister-in-law. We were, thank God, we were able to drive off, but their car was pretty much finished and they spun into actually another accident just coincidentally. And there was a lot of things that, you learn going through even the insurance that you're and how your insurance and your chiropractors and how they get paid and how, whether the driver has insurance, whether the car has insurance. So it's a teachable moment and you're like, wow, okay, you don't know it so just integrated and just litigious and everything is just like, wow, talking to my lawyer. And so, Rubenstein, thank you for getting me, my
Yeah.
bad. But but when you're trying to sell a person, and I don't like the word sell, I like the word present, because this is something that by law you need some. Can you talk about where they can start? Because a lot of people, I don't want them to turn off when we go too deep into it. I want to give them the game that they need. How inexpensive can it be so they don't have any legal problems, whether not having insurance or just needing to cover hospital bills later? Like, where can they start for their auto and even their personal? Like, what's some of the best packages right now? We won't hold you to them because we know inflation, right?
Yeah.
Where can they call you and say, look, I actually have that amount of money, let me get started with something?
All right. So let's start with auto. Just to be clear, I'm not the one doing the selling. I'm upfront. I answer the phone calls and I hear and I see a lot of things. I have people in the back of me that does it, that does the selling, and I'm always there with them and I see everything. I peek through the blinds a little bit, if you understand what I mean. Um, so so how can I explain this? First, let's start with what the type of vehicle you might have when you talk about prices. A lot of people, they get themselves some money, they want themselves a nice car, sometimes nice and fast car, you know, and they go ahead and purchase that, and they can see that they can afford the monthly payments to pay the car, but they never really think about how much the insurance is going to be. Because in their mind, they're like, there's no way it's going to be more than my monthly payment. But especially nowadays in Florida, the rates have been going up. So if you're a younger age or you haven't had insurance for a very long time, the certain type of cars I probably wouldn't recommend to purchase because their insurance would be naturally higher than other cars. I've seen people have good could be able to afford a Tesla. You get the Tesla, and they're like, I'm gonna get some insurance. And they realize, oh, can't pay that insurance, too much, and they're wondering, man, why is my Tesla insurance on? They realize, oh, Tesla can only be fixed at a Tesla dealership. So their insurance don't really want to cover that because depending on what the price that the Tesla dealership is going to charge you to fix that. Insurance it's pretty simple. It's all about risk. The riskier the thing they want to insure, the higher it's gonna be. You get yourself, let's say, we all know these type of cars, a Hellcat, a Scat Cat. You get those big, fast vehicles, very fun to drive, but all the company sees is risk. Is okay. This is gonna be. If something happens to this car, I'm gonna have to pay a lot of money. At the end of the day, the companies are there to make money, not to lose it. So yes, your record might be good. Yes, you might have insurance for a long time, but all they see is, oh, this guy's in his 20s. He just got himself a nice fast car. I can't give them a cheap insurance. I'm gonna have to. It gotta be higher. The company is gonna make it go higher. What all you would see are where you live also factors in the zip code. Some zip codes, sadly, are better than others. You might live in Wellington. You might, oh, my insurance is very cheap in Wellington, but you go somewhere else that's a little more high risk, you realize your insurance will go up. Or then one other reasons, one other way where insurance could be high is, believe it or not, is your credit. You will see a lot of people that have good credit end up having some pretty good insurance because insurance, they see, it's like a report card. They see how things were and your past when it comes to your payments, and when it comes to your accident record and stuff like that. They say, yo, this man has good payments, good accident free history. They had insurance for a long time, and they're switching, and their car is not high risk. So I'm gonna give them a cheaper rate, that in a sense. I can give y'all some certain ways to work towards having a cheaper insurance, in a sense of it's gonna be expensive in the beginning, but by the time you're older, you're gonna pay the rates that you see the older gentlemen are paying. One of the best ways to do it is first is be accident free. A good discount is a homeowner discount. So if you own a house, that's a good discount you could have. If you're married, also that's a good discount you can have. And if you had if you steady pay your insurance for, let's say, 10 years, and people say 10 years is a lot, but if you realize if you had a car since you're like 18, 16, by the time you're 30, it's a good amount of years. You stick with it, you pay on time, and you try to your best to be ticket and accident free. Sometimes you don't have control over that. You try not to do a lot of claims, because even though insurance is there to help you out when it comes to claims, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's a business. They're also here to make money. So if let's say they see you that for the past 3 years you had 2 claims and they had to pay you $15K or $20K each claim because your car was damaged, they're going to be less. They're going to rate you a lot higher than they would somebody else, because they see, hey, there's a chance that in the next couple of years, I'm going to have to give this guy $15,000 or $20,000 to get his car fixed, because in his past, like I say, it's like a report card. In his past, we've seen how it was. So we're just going to assume that that's what it's going to be.
Can that not being in an accident, is that, even if it's not your fault? I've known people who it's like they're prone to just getting hit. They've been, you almost think they've made a career out of it, but they haven't. It's not their fault every time. Does that matter?
Sadly, Florida is a no-fault state, so it doesn't matter if it's your fault or not. You most likely you'll be covered. But now, don't get me wrong, the company can say, hey, I'm not liable for this, but from what I've seen, it doesn't matter much, Certain things you don't have control on, sadly, but all you can do is try your best to be a safer driver. When I started driving, one thing I was taught is don't only drive for yourself, drive for the people around you, because you never know how the next man next to you drives. So, don't try to do nothing excessive that might put yourself or somebody else in danger, because not only is that dangerous for you, it might hurt your pockets in the future, because now your insurance might go up $100, $200 just because you wanted to take a turn that you could have just waited and take it in a couple minutes.
Okay, so you guys getting it. This is game you can use so you don't get confused. And so you don't get confused, there's so much that I could go into the insurance, but this is why you have to look in the description. I know most of you are listeners, and you have to contact this young man and go, because this is what he does for a living. So you get a piece of it. But if he wants to create his own podcast next week, we're going to put it right there so you can get more game, because folks are unfortunately, if you came out and talked about something of what Diddy said, and I titled it like that, people would be more inclined to jump into what did Diddy say to this guy versus how they can save themselves a lot of headache and, more importantly, even money.
Hello, everyone. Come along with London and Sydney as they show you around the vibrant country of Cameroon. We explore the heart of Africa through the eyes of London and Sydney. Two explorers who journey across the great city of Yaoundé, exploring its rich culture, vibrant market squares, cultural heritage, and wildlife. With giggles and excitement, London and Sydney Explore Cameroon takes you on a fun-filled adventure, providing insight into the country's culture and traditions through the pages of this book. It's packed with exciting stories and super cool facts about Cameroon that will make you go, wow. Get your copy now, available on Amazon and in libraries near you. There's only one easy way to experience the exploration of Cameroon, and it's through London and Sydney. Don't wait, get yours.
Now, with insurance, you didn't give me a price, but can you give a range? Because some people say, look, I'm already struggling. I don't have an extra $1,000. And some people might think it cost them $1,000, because they don't know. And that's why they don't have it. Where would you say a range is of, let's just say for the auto insurance, how much is the average that you're seeing?
All right. So for me, everybody, like I said, I can't speak for everybody else. Everybody has got a bunch of different companies because there's hundreds of companies in Florida. I only work with a few, so I can only say for what I've been seeing, in my opinion. The next agency is probably a lot cheaper. The next agency might be a lot more expensive. Just depends which companies you work with, which companies you don't work with. But it's hard for me to give you a estimate or like how it's gonna be because everything is so different. Sometimes I think, oh, this guy insurance is about to be super cheap, and it's not. And other times I'm like, oh, this guy about to pay a bunch of money, but it wasn't. Honestly, one time there was a gentleman that I did insurance for, got himself a little sporty car. He was young. I'm like, okay. Oh, I wrote down his information. I could already see, my man, this is about to be high, and I give it to the guys in the back. They work on the insurance, and they give it back to me to tell this guy the price. And I looked, I'm like, whoa, it's not that bad compared to what I thought he was about to pay. It's not bad, and honestly, sadly, you just cannot estimate or even guess how much it's gonna be because I could say, if I could say, I've been seeing around 300, 315, right? Then customer comes to me, I found for 115, and I don't know why or what decisions that the main companies choose to why the price is like that, but it's just how it is sometimes. Back in the day, it was a lot cheaper. Back in the day, we used to see, when I say back in the day, pre-COVID. I'm not that old. When I say back in the day, I mean pre-COVID. I've seen a lot of low hundreds, like under 100. I see a lot of under 100s for people in the mid 40s. I'm like, oh, they own a house, they live in a good neighborhood. I see like $60, especially if their cars are not like big cars. They might have themselves a little Honda, a little Toyota. I found other 100. Nowadays, I don't think I've seen that in a while. And nowadays,
Okay.
I've heard the hundreds I've seen. I haven't seen prices in the hundreds. I haven't seen 180, 190. That's cheap nowadays. Back in the day, I see 112 to lower. That's super. Now I find 180, 150. I'm like, oh, this is super cheap. Now I've been finding a lot of two something, 300. Two something is cheap now. Back in the day, two something was to be expensive. 3 something like the how I've been seeing is things just been going up. Everything in Florida just been going up and up and up and up. House prices, everything is going. Insurance, everything is going up. They're raising prices because a lot of companies are losing money, and the only way they can make sure they don't lose too much money is the next time they raise everybody's premium a little bit, and everybody's affected.
Okay. So, but it's something that you have to have. So if you're out there on the road, you have to have it. You have to pay the cost to be the boss, or you can just buy an Uber membership, have an American Express or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Not that I
I
want to
get you.
push that.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. One thing I've noticed that I can say I've seen this happen one time. A company called. They said, "Hey guys, our rates going down because last year we made way more money than we thought we were gonna make." And that's one of the first times I've seen a company lower everybody's price. So that shows that it can happen. The only thing that can happen is if let's say a year Florida don't have too many less accidents, like the year when COVID happened, because
Mm-hmm.
nobody was outside, less accident happened. And companies lower their prices because there's no accidents. We're not losing any money. So the prices went down. But when COVID started to finish, people started driving more. Roads got busy. a lot more things started happening, a lot more actions started happening, and prices went skyrocket again. So that's really how the market is for insurance.
Well, we talk about insurance. Let's get into the fun stuff with your photography, because I want to leave something there, because I really want to push you to do a podcast, and you could do a podcast on just insurance. So I want to leave some questions unanswered that people are thinking. I want them to call you, and if not your podcast, they call you as a consultant. But with the photography,
Okay.
you really love photography.
Yes.
When did you fall in love with photography? And let people know what type of photography you like. So when they see your stuff, links will be in the description again, so they can hire you. What is your, focus in photography?
Okay. So let me answer the first question. When did I fall in love with photography? I fell in love with photography my first official shoot. The first time I shot a picture for somebody by myself with a professional camera. First time I got booked, pretty much. One of my friends was a photographer, is a photographer. He came to me to take some pictures for my business card, and I saw this camera, and I decided to pick it up. So I bought myself a camera, and I was just outside, just taking pictures. Go on YouTube, learn how to use it, learn the in and out of it, and then a couple years later, I upgrade until I got myself my first Sony camera. I shoot with Sony only for right now. Before I was in Canada, I got my first Sony camera, and one of my friends for his birthday, he booked me. He was like, "Hey, Wenzel, I know you just started, but I need some pictures. And since you just started, I know the price not gonna be too crazy." Like, okay, I charged him $50. He was my first guy, and $50. And we went next to his house, went to the park next to his house, and I just started shooting. And I realized when I was doing it, the more creative I could get. It's like the second I come, oh, I could do this. Oh, now if I do it like this, if I wait till the sun goes down a little bit, let it hit its back, and it could be the more you do it and you see the pictures you take, the more you'll be proud of yourself. You realize, oh, I took this, I did this, and taking pictures of him, and I was showing the pictures. He was so happy, and I feel like the joy. He's like, oh man, I love this, man. And at some point, he even brought his daughter out. I was like, hey, can I bring my daughter? And can you see some pictures of me and my daughter? I'm like, oh, sure. And I just because pictures is for me is memories. You're gonna look back at this. You're like, oh, when I was young, look, this is how I used to look like. But back way back in the day, my father tried to show me old pictures of him, and it's rare now. Everybody can have pictures of themselves, and it's even better when you take some really good quality pictures, especially a family portrait. Every year, this is family every year. The family you want to take a family purchase. They hit me up. I go to the house. I set up everything. They sat down with their two kids and the husband and wife, and take pictures, and you can see how the kids grow up, how the parents change. I just think is super. Just having that memory, and I'm pretty sure in the next 20, 45 some years, when they get a lot older, they're gonna look back and say, "Look at this picture. The picture we took of you guys when we were younger," and they're gonna talk about it, and it's gonna bring back happiness. And that's what I could say that made me officially fall in love with photography, because it's once you start it, it's kind of infectious, because you want to perfect the craft. You're like, oh, I did this time, but next time I want to do it like that, so it can be way better for the client. Because you want to take pride in your work. So every time you take one, you think of new ideas. Hey, next time I'm gonna do it like this, so this could be better.
Okay,
So I could say
gotcha.
that's what.
But I want to know. I want to know, because I kind of heard the story. Weddings. Are you a wedding photographer? Do you like weddings? Will you accept weddings?
Now I'll accept small weddings. I'll accept small weddings because reason why I say small is because I want to have the equipment. Like I say, you take pride in your work when you start doing it. I want to have the proper equipment to because weddings is a big thing. What I can do, what I do is um wedding pictures with you and the bride, with the husband. I can do that easily, because it's like for a few couple ones I have the light, but that wedding event when you gotta take pictures of everybody, there's so much things you need. It's hard to do it by yourself. But what I can do is if the person is hiring multiple photographers, take multiple pictures, I can honestly be one of those photographers because I've done big events before. But weddings are such a special things that I don't necessarily do weddings yet until I have the other equipment I think I need so I can make it look how I want it to look. Because I know for a fact, one thing about me, if I take a picture and I don't like it, but if I do a photo shoot and I don't like it, I'll tell the customer I'll do it for you again free of charge because I didn't like how I did this because I know I could do better than this. You know, so yes, I'll do weddings. I've done weddings before. I've done 2 weddings before, but it was really just a small. It was small. It wasn't a big wedding, but for big weddings, you gotta have some stuff because you can't mess that up. A lot of pressure. You definitely can't mess that up.
Definitely, you can't mess up weddings with photography. You can't mess up with your insurance and the lack of. Let the people know though, a community give back that whether it's insurance or photography that you are doing or that you would like to do in the future. Because I want them to know and not be intimidated and say, well, I don't have any money. Maybe there's something in some way they can connect with you, something you're doing or that you plan on doing in the future, and maybe they can help you with it. What is that thing for you?
Okay. I don't have control over the prices for insurance, but for my photography, I have control over that. My prices are 100% always negotiable. I don't have one big price, and if you don't make this price, I can't do it for you. We can always talk and figure out how we can make it more affordable for you. But you gotta realize that the cheaper you want it, the less you're gonna get. You know, if you want, let's say if you want 4 outfits and you can only afford $300, or let's say you can only afford something. I say okay, you want 4 outfits in the studio. You know, it's gonna take me 2-3 hours to do them. I'm gonna have to edit everything at the end. Let's cut it to 2 outfits, and I can do it for that price, and I'll take it because my pictures I do my per hour. For 1 hour, you take as much pictures as you want, even if it's 1,000. I'll take them for you. I'll go through them with you. You tell me which ones you like. I edit every single one of them. I don't even trust for me to edit your pictures because I want to make sure the picture looks the best it needs to be. So, like I said, I don't control the price for insurance, but for photography, you can always call me, and if the price too much for you, I will always, try to meet you halfway, make sure it goes there. Of course, I have my limits. You can't go too low, but hey, I'll always meet you halfway. And for insurance, us as the agency, we'll always help you out and let you know what you need and what you don't need. We will never make you pay more than you need to be, in my opinion. I've seen that a lot. I've seen agents make you pay more, but the agency that I work at, we always make sure, hey, if you don't need this, I'm gonna let you know we don't need this. If we think you can find cheaper somewhere else, we'll let you know, hey, honestly, we find cheaper somewhere else. If what we're giving you is not so much better than what you have right now, we'll let you know, stay where you at because it's not a bad price. Yesterday, one of the clients came, he was paying, I think $400 for 2 vehicles, and he was wondering can he find cheaper. And it was 2 vehicles and 2 person. There was also a child in there. The child was around 18. He was driving the vehicle, so of course his price went up. And we looked through everything. We're like, honestly, if I was you, I'll stay where you at because it's a good company and the price. But right now, it's probably the best you're going to find because of the drivers you have. You have a young man, 2 cars, full coverage. With all the bells and whistles you have, you're paying a good price. You don't need to switch with us. And we're always 100% honest. And because of that, some people actually were willing to pay more with our agency because they like the customer service. In a sense, they prefer that they know they got somebody they can call and ask questions instead of waiting on the phone and try to speak to a robot on the phone trying to get somebody to speak with because they don't understand this and they want to figure out, hey, what should I do? I have clients that calls me on Sundays. I'm off, but clients call me on Sunday all the time. Hey, I'm buying this car. Can you do a quick quote for me? 100%. It can only take me 10 minutes. 10 minutes out of my day. I do it for you, give you the price. Like I said, I don't control the price of insurance, but what I do is make sure that you're not paying more than you need to at this time. And if we feel like we can't do any better for you, we always tell, hey, go around shopping a little bit more, and come back to me if you find something better. But if you don't, then because I don't want you to pay all this money just for you to drive this vehicle right this moment. So that's really how. For the insurance side, how I do it is more of a customer service. That's our brand of business. Just good customer service. Make sure you leave the office feeling like you were at your house, or you were talking to a friend and you were just asking questions. There's never too many questions you can ask. You can come anytime, ask me questions. You need help with, and we do more than insurance actually. We do taxes also. If you have a ticket and you need the 4-hour drug and alcohol class, we do that also. We help you if you have family all over America. Not America, all over the world, in France, Puerto Rico. We help you guys send money over there. We do so many services over there. So it's more of like a one-stop shop for almost anything you need. There's even a realtor in there if you need to buy a house. And while you're in here, if you need something also insurance for that house that you might buy, we're here for you to help you out with that also.
You guys have gotten the game. I want you for the links below, because he may tell me, Kellen, I started the podcast before you put this out. Here's the link. I want you guys to check out this game. This is, again, game you can use. Let the people know where they can find you, my bruv.
So you can find me on 3829 Westgate Avenue, C38, West 44 33409. We're in middle Wabasso and Okeechobee. If you do want to reach us, if you can't come, because we have clients all over Florida, call us at 561-273-9191. We have customers in Key West, Tampa. You have customers that we have never met in person, but we're always one call away. As long as you're in Florida, you give us a call, and we'll go ahead and assist you.
You guys have gotten the game. Now it's your job to like the game. You put your comments, whether you're listening or you jump over to the YouTube, show it some love, subscribe. That's always a beautiful thing, no matter what platform you're on. But more importantly than anything, please, please, please share this game with somebody. It will change their life. Y'all be blessed.
Hi guys, I'm Kai Gabiam from the Diaspora channel, a lover of Africa. If you love Africa as well and you would love to visit one day or to relocate to Africa, there is a course out there for you. And this course is My First Trip to Africa, a course well put together by a seasoned traveler, Kellen Cash Coleman. This course is designed to prepare you to travel better, which will save you both time and money. And the great news is this course costs only $20, guys. It can't get any better. Go right now and enroll to this course at www.diversifygame.com.